this were informed that the room was warmed in winter by means of hot water, and were then invited back again into the corridor to make discoveries, under professional direction, which they were unable to make for themselves. "A word, ladies and gentlemen," said the doctor, "literally a word, on nervous derangement first. What is the process of treatment when, let us say, mental anxiety has broken you down, and you apply to your doctor? He sees you, hears you, and gives you two prescriptions. One is written on paper, and made up at the chemist's; the other is administered by word of mouth, at the propitious moment when the fee is ready, and consists in a general recommendation to you to keep your mind easy. That excellent advice given, your doctor leaves you to spare yourself all earthly annoyances by your own unaided efforts until he calls again. Here my system steps in and helps you. When I see the necessity of keeping your mind easy, I take the bull by the horns and do it for you. I place you in a sphere of action in which the 10,000 trifles which must and do irritate nervous people at home are expressly considered and provided against. I throw up impregnable moral entrenchments between worry and you. Find a door banging in this house, if you can. Catch a servant in this house rattling the tea things when he takes away the tray. Discover barking dogs, crowing cocks, hammering workmen, screeching children here, and I engage to close my sanitarium tomorrow. Are these nuisances laughing matters to nervous people? Ask them. Can they escape these nuisances at home? Ask them. Will 10 minutes' irritation from a barking dog or a screeching child undo every atom of good done to a nervous sufferer by a month's medical treatment? There isn't a competent doctor in England who will venture to deny it. On those plain grounds my system is based. I assert the medical treatment of nervous suffering to be entirely subsidiary to the moral treatment of it. That moral treatment of it you find here. That moral treatment, sedulously pursued throughout the day, follows a sufferer into his room at night, and soothes, helps, and cures him, without his knowledge. You shall see how." The doctor paused to take breath, and looked, for the first time since the visitors had entered the house, at Miss Gwilt. For the first time, on her side, she stepped forward among the audience, and looked at him in return. After a momentary obstruction in the shape of a cough, the doctor went on. "Say, ladies and gentlemen," he proceeded, "that my patient has just come in. His mind is one mass of nervous fancies and caprices, which his friends, with the best possible intentions, have been ignorantly irritating at home. They have been afraid of him, for instance, at night. They have forced him to have somebody to sleep in the room with him, or they have forbidden him, in case of accidents, to lock his door. He comes to me the first night, and says, 'Mind, I won't have anybody in my room.' 'Certainly not. I insist on locking my door.' 'By all means.' In he goes and locks his door, and there he is, soothed and quieted, predisposed to confidence, predisposed to sleep, by having his own way. This is all very well, you may say, but suppose something happens, suppose he has a fit in the night, what then? You shall see. Hallo, my young friend!" cried the doctor, suddenly addressing the sleepy little boy. "Let's have a game. You shall be the poor sick man, and I'll be the good doctor. Go into that room and lock the door. There's a brave boy. Have you locked it? Very good. Do you think I can't get at you if I like? I wait till you're asleep. I press this little white button, hidden here in the stenciled pattern of the outer wall. The mortise of the lock inside falls back silently against the door-post, and I walk into the room whenever I like. The same plan is pursued with the window. My capricious patient won't open it at night, when he ought. I humor him again. 'Shut it, dear sir, by all means.' As soon as he is asleep, I pull the black handle hidden here in the corner of the wall. The window of the room inside noiselessly opens, as you see. Say the patient's caprice is the other way. He persists in opening the window when he ought to shut it. Let him, by all means let him. I pull a second handle when he is snug in his bed, and the window noiselessly closes in a moment. Nothing to irritate him, ladies and gentlemen, absolutely nothing to irritate him. But I haven't done with him yet. Epidemic disease, in spite of all my precautions, may enter the sanitarium, and may render the purifying of the sick room necessary. Or the patient's case may be complicated by other than nervous malady, say, for instance, asthmatic difficulty of breathing. In the one case, fumigation is necessary; in the other, additional oxygen in the air will give relief. The epidemic nervous patient says, "I won't be smoked under my own nose." The asthmatic nervous patient gasps with terror at the idea of a chemical explosion in his room. I noiselessly fumigate one of them; I noiselessly oxygenize the other, by means of a simple apparatus fixed outside in the corner here. It is protected by this wooden casing; it is locked with my own key, and it communicates by means of a tube with the interior of the room. Look at it." With a preliminary glance at Miss Gwilt, the doctor unlocked the lid of the wooden casing, and disclosed inside nothing more remarkable than a large stone jar, having a glass funnel and a pipe communicating with the wall, inserted in the cork which closed the mouth of it. With another look at Miss Gwilt, the doctor locked the lid again, and asked, in the blandest manner, whether his system was intelligible now. End of Book the Last, Chapter 3, Part 1.